Number one is Golden Arm.
Hey guys, this is Jason, and welcome to Martial Arts Theater 3000, and today we're returning back to the Venoms Countdown. If you came across this video first in the series, I do recommend going back to number 21, because I do a lot of references to my previous reviews on the list. And thanks guys, as always, for all the support you've been giving me on this series. I've been having a great time doing it, and seeing all the comments down below, it just really makes it all worth it. And if you could hit that like button and subscribe, it would definitely help the channel. And without any further ado, let's jump back into it. At number 6, we have Kid with the Golden Arm. Now this is an extremely popular Venoms film, almost as popular as Five Deadly Venoms itself, I'd say. It was released in 1979. And one thing to know about these films in general from the Venoms is they were released out of order. The Shaw Brothers studio became like a conveyor belt of sorts where they're working on multi-projects at one time, and whatever one happened to be fully finished and got dubbed, that be the one they would release. So Kid with the Golden Arm was the 4th Venom Mob film consecutively, but it was released I think around the 8th or 9th film in their filmography. And while I do love this movie, it's not quite a top 5 for me for a couple different reasons. On the positive side of things, everyone is in great form here. Lo Mang is so charismatic, of course, as the main villain, Kid with the Golden Arm. You have multiple different chiefs. Lu Fang is excellent, as he always is. And Guok Choi, this is definitely in his top 3 performances. He just embodies Agent Haito, and you could tell he's made for this role. Everyone comes off almost as like a superhero or in a comic book. They're all introduced in the beginning. This intro is so classic. It's just amazing. It has that iconic status for a Shaw Brothers movie. And I actually heard about it in the 80s, reading from Rick Meyer's book and different sources, but I didn't see it till the early 90s. So I was always just really excited to catch Kid with the Golden Arm. I think the hype and the build-up made me slightly disappointed when I finally saw it. The thing about this movie is it comes off kind of like a play. The sets feel almost claustrophobic in this one. They're just one tight shot, and the actual square footage for them to move also feels just very small in this one. So you have characters coming in off screen and just goes to another scene that looks similar to the previous one. It feels like you could almost see it being performed as a play on a stage. And this in itself is not really a bad thing. It's just that with those close quarters and it's set up for a lot of dialogue, when they do bust out into some fight scenes, especially at the beginning of this movie, it feels a bit slow, and I feel like they're just hampered a bit by how little room they have to move. But once it gets closer to the middle of the film, it's almost at that full Venom Mob speed and the quality you'd expect. It's so great to see Sun Chen take the lead a bit, and it's definitely one of Wei Pai's best performances, and I believe it's actually his last with the Venoms. That's another interesting thing about this movie. It's called Kid with the Golden Arm, but Lo Mang, he's really in the background in this movie. He makes a couple cameos in the intro, and he lets Brass Head and Lu Fang as Silver Spear and the other chiefs in the Chi Saw gang, he lets them do all the dirty work. Lo Mang just comes in, swoops in for a few moments in the beginning, disappears, reappears again. You don't get a lot of time with the Kid with the Golden Arm until the end of the movie. For the plot and acting on this one, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The cast is incredible. Sun Chen is excellent in a dual role here, and there's definitely a big twist at the end. And I think this movie's almost designed to really showcase the acting, and that's the strong point of this film. Unlike some other kung fu movies, the plot and the characters themselves are really the showcase here. For the action and fighting, I'm going to have to give this one an 8 out of 10. I know that's a bit lower. I just think the beginning and a lot of the fights are extremely short and a bit slower, even for the time period, that it just kind of brings it down a few points for me. But by the time it gets to the end, with Guok Choi battling Lo Mang and battling especially the fight with Sun Chen, that is just top shelf. It is really, really solid. But it just comes so much later in the movie that outside of Lu Fang and Shang Shang's really good battle, it's almost just a plot-heavy movie for the first half. And unfortunately, like I said, some of the fights aren't up to their standard quality. But all these colorful characters and the classic status and iconic status this movie has because of their performances and Chang-Chi's vision on this, that's what brings this up all the way to number 6. For ways to watch for Kid with the Golden Arm, you can rent it or buy it currently on YouTube. It does appear occasionally on Netflix, but I have not seen it there recently. But hands down, the best way to watch this is going to be to get Shawscope Volume 2. There is a great 2K new scan from Arrow, and it just looks incredible. And that Blu-ray on that box set's definitely the way to go to watch this one. Alright guys, so at number 6, that was Kid with the Golden Arm. Let me know down below what you guys think of this movie. I think the fans of Shaw Brothers and the Venom Mob would place this up in the top 3 usually. But some people like myself feel it's not quite at that upper echelon. So let me know where you guys would rank it, and I'll catch you in the next one.